Thank you very much. Thank you, RelNet, for inviting me. I have like 2 minutes to finish my presentation, so we are a little bit behind my schedule, so I'll try to do myself the best to shorten a bit. So I'm sorry, I still don't speak Hungarian. I still know a couple of words, but I believe that you will follow. Some of you know me from the past, being active here in Hungary since 2002. So, and I'm representing company Extreme Networks. I hope you all know about Extreme Networks. Is there anybody from you never heard about Extreme Networks? Is there anybody? Good. So you save some time. So I'm just thinking how to bridge from the previous presentation. So first of all, I did not understand much the language. The second one was pretty much about the finance. That's another area I'm not that skilled. But I believe that the part I have, you will find something interesting, really. Because Extreme Networks is now really building a new era in the digital transformation. And in order to be the most understandable for you, we selected Skoda Auto case study, because Skoda is the most successful car manufacturer in the world. If we exclude, the territories we cannot measure. If you go to the east, there are some companies, it's difficult to measure their success because, they are the government companies. But if we talk about the traded companies, Skoda is currently double-digit growing company. They are not able to match. If you are, some of you want to buy a Skoda, which I would recommend, I'm driving Skoda as well. And so if you want to buy, sometimes you have to wait. However, we are doing everything that everything is working in Skoda according to their expectations. And one of the things that resonates is that more than 5 years, they did not have any single network unplanned outage in the network. Think about Skoda, 30,000 employees, no single network outage. Think about your customers. They can think the same, 5 years without any network outage. And that's one of the reasons why Skoda is so successful. But let me first of all to talk about why, who we are, where we are now. So it is a company that is still quite a young company. And these guys from RelNet, they know the history of Extreme, almost disappearing from the market. But these guys made a tremendous job in terms of acquisitions. I'm the one who is coming from Intersys. In 2013, I got responsible for Central and Southeastern Europe. So my region is actually from Czech up to Israel. And in 2013, the company became double-sized, Extreme and Intersys. 2 years ago, we acquired Zebra Wireless company, Motorola, some of you know. Last year, we completed acquisitions of Avaya Networking and the broker networking. So it's now a more than $1 billion company. But what is really important, the company is still enough flexible, innovative, that our solutions are developed to match the customer needs. Not that we develop something and then asking our partners, customers, how you are going to use it. It's the opposite. Solutions are being built based on demands. And I will mention a couple of things during my presentations that the ideas even came from our region to develop something, analytics. That comes from this region. So we are still very we are a networking company. And what I want to mention is we became leaders according to Gartner. This is a significant step. That was our problem in the past. Who is Extreme? Customers, why Extreme? It's an unknown company. We are leaders now. So this thing should be disregarded. That is not anymore a problem for us to really be recognized in the market. And you can see how close we are now with Cisco HP, where we are. In 2013, we were somewhere here. So we, and actually Huawei, there's the only two companies that were moving ahead. If we talk about the data center market, we are in the challengers now as well. But I'm going now to talk about the automated campus, something that is related to Skoda, what we are interested in. Talking about that case, why we are talking that? It's all about complexity. And they were in 5 years ago with certain challenges. And these challenges are even more important. Talking about the complexity of the networks. 21 billion of devices, they will be connected into the internet, into IoT. 69% BYOD devices connected to the enterprises. Security. Security is everywhere. This event is very much about security. You need to extend your perimeter from the firewall to the real access to the network, to the access point, to the access switch. In IoT, you have to have the perimeter across the whole networking. And we are a networking company. We know how to do this. So the thing is that the complexity increasing, you are not getting more money, or customers are not getting more money. They have to deal with more things, with the less budgets, with less people. Everything is real time. All the applications are going to be connected, converge into one network. And this is what's happening in Skoda. They are converging all networks into one single network. Production, guest, camera. All these networks are being converged into one single network because it's more simple. And in simplicity is the beauty. It's much easier to handle that if you can run in one single network, not a couple of networks. So it's about video, artificial intelligence, augmented and virtual reality. That's growing. And all is about to deliver consistent user experience. All is about user experience, how to use the services they need. And we can talk about a lot of data. So it's undoubtable that the networking has to be treated in a different way than it was today. So I want to now step into the Skoda case. And 5 years ago, there was a project, how to support double-digit growth. And the requirement was have 100% reliable network, no single unplanned outages. Zero service downtime, no unplanned outages. Communication infrastructure, the services should be abstracted from the physical infrastructure, which means if you want to create new service, you cannot build a new network. You need to have independence in between services and the physical topology. That's what I actually was saying, that the data traffic separation without the need to operate a separate physical infrastructure. And the previous one was a service elasticity. Visibility and control, 30,000 employees, a lot of devices, to have a very detailed visibility, easy guest access, onboarding, to have really the visibility in the network, cost retention, and the GDPR compliance, which is coming later, obviously. So something came 5 years ago, something is coming now, later on. So these were all the requirements we have to deal in that network. Let's explain how we approached, how they could go with a traditional network approach. What is usually the customers are still doing, separate network for wireless, separate network for wired, which leads into long service activation time frames. Think about, they get suddenly a lot of requests for Karok or Kodiaks. They need to move the production to the different facility. They cannot take days, weeks to provision the service. They're only limited how people can move and the production things. Network is not the showstopper anymore because everything is automated. They don't have to do any CLI. They don't work with CLI anymore. They don't have army. Just for example, the whole network is managed by 4 guys. And we talk about multiple facilities. But these guys are architects. They're working on developing the network, not working with the CLI, because that could not work. So the thing is, extended mean times to repair, the traditional approach, human exposure to human errors, because if you do the CLI, obviously, we are humans, we do mistakes. And you have very limited application visibility. They decided to do something different. That was 5 years ago. They went against Volkswagen guidelines. Chandor knows that also very well. And they were really brave to go with something different. And they decided for the fabric. And that was the Avaya networking. And they're really happy now. Across all the problems they had, 5 years, Volkswagen telling them Avaya is not on the list of standards. You have to replace with other technology. Now, we have one of the most happiest customers. First of all, they overcame the really hard period. The second, that solution is an extreme networking company that is adding more experience, being the networking vendor, and we are on the list of standards anymore. But they can say 5 years off. And this is very important, what we are bringing. Unified wired and wireless management. So currently they're using our Extreme Management Center. I will talk later about what I talk about that. And there are proven results. 11 times faster service initiation. 7 times faster repair times, if we compare to the traditional networks. 100% reduction in human error outages. That's what I told you. 5 years without any network unplanned outages. A lot of network outages are caused by human problems because you make some mistake in the configuration. It happens. But here, it's prevented because everything is automated. And we are now providing them with complete application visibility. So they have really application visibility across the network. So this is our approach with Extreme Automated Campus that was developed since they implemented. So what is the Automated Campus solution about? So first of all, it's about simplicity. Think about that you run in the network, and that's Skoda. It's running one single protocol. Think about your customers having a network that run one single protocol. What that means? You have to learn only one single protocol. You don't have to know OSPF, MPLS, VPLS, spanning tree. No. You can know only one protocol, and I'll tell you which one it is. So it is about Fabric Connect, about automation, zero-touch provisioning, that you can connect. Skoda is buying like 50, 100 switches and deploy them in an hour. It's just about mount. Connect it, it's automatically provisioned. They don't have to configure anything, switch by switch by switch. Everything is with predefined templates. So that's how we handle complexity, with the simple networking. The second thing, very key, is security. We are not perceived as a security vendor, but all the time we are talking about the secure networking. And there are 3 components I will talk later about. Hypersegmentation, stealth networking, and the service elasticity. I will talk about later about the security, but it's really important that these 3 attributes are really increasing significantly the security inside the network. They have attacks, obviously. Skoda has attacks. But they don't have a problem in the network with that. And the third one, which Extreme is bringing, long-time experience with the network management. I'm sure that many of you were on our previous presentations. We were talking about Extreme Management Center, having the heritage from 80s. The multi-vendor network management with visibility, control, automation, and application analytics inside the multi-vendor networks. So I'll talk in a minute. And this is what currently Skoda is using as well. So if we talk about our concept, the Fabric Connects, Fabric Attach, it's really proven technology. Unfortunately, we don't have any Fabric Connect. I will be really encouraged in any of you to bring the first Fabric Connect customer here in Hungary. But for example, in Israel, we have 25 Fabric Connect customers, including Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister Office. We have very large customers like Seva, Israel, which is if you open your mobile phone, you find the processors. They are Seva. We can talk about Oslo University Hospital, really a lot of accounts. And we are growing, and that's because it's proven. Customers that are using Fabric, they would not change. They really like it. Proven results, I already spoke about that, and our support, which is something what I would like to highlight here, that we are perceived as the best supporting vendor in the networking industry. All our support is fully insourced. Our guys have more than 10 years average being in the company. So if you open the case, and I'm sure some of you having experience, you're talking with the guys that really understand what they do. We are not outsourcing that somewhere to, I don't want to touch any countries, but you know, somewhere in the Far East, you have the help desk, try to solve some problem with these guys. It might take weeks. You know, we have 94% first call resolution. If you have a problem, the person you are talking to will solve your problem. It could be one day, it could be 1 week, depending how deep it is, but you have a proper treatment. So this is something what we are really proud of, and this is what Extreme brought. I was talking about one single protocol, and now I'm going to tell you which one it is. Shortest path bridging first. If you think about the traditional network approach, all these protocols, yes, you need to pass academies, weeks and weeks, to learn all these protocols, to run the network. The more you add, the more complexity it has. One change is causing another change. Just think about a fabric that is running one single protocol. And Skoda is really the example. They run across multiple locations, They even are using SPB towards the far installations, I mean, the premises they have like in India. They are using layer 2 MAC in MAC networking, which is the know-how coming from Nortel times, which is excellent technology, which is now coming with all the virtualization. You need to have simple network approach because it provides you with the environment that is very easy, provision the services from one place to another with MAC in MAC networking. So Skoda is using layer 2 networking. They don't need to route. They route outside the network, but inside the campus, why to route? It's not needed. 30,000 employees, growing like a hell, building new facilities. They're extending shortest path bridging. So it is, first of all, it's cheaper. And you would say, Skoda, it's a rich customer. But sometimes it is that the most rich companies are spending the least money because they're smart. They know how to save. So it's about lower cost. It's definitely about increased stability. It's much faster deploying resiliency. By the way, the whole Fabric Connect was implemented over the weekend, 5 years ago. Over the weekend. We have a very fresh implementation in Volkswagen Poznań. That's the facility where electro cars should be produced. It's unofficially. It was built in 1 day. And the guy from Volkswagen that is going all around the world implementing, he said, never ever seen such an easy implementation. And that's a combination of like VIA technology with extreme access switches in the really new environments in 1 day. Incredible, incredible, and they was really happy. So I think we made the headache of some of the guys they are long time supplying at Volkswagen. But why this is so simple? If you look onto the traditional network, what I said, hop by hop provisioning, if you do any changes in the network, you add, you move, you need to reconfigure the network. And it's really exposed to the problem because we are humans. If you do any change, the network becomes vulnerable. However you are good, whatever more people are checking the configurations, the bigger configuration, the more people are involved, the more difficult it is. It's human, it's a physics. But the thing is, think about the fabric, where all the information is recorded on the edge. The core is only forwarding. So, which means that you are labeling, if I make it very simple, you're labeling the service you need, and you do some kind of labels. It's not MPLS. MPLS is too complex. This is much easier because it's layer 2. Providing the MAC, which is coming from virtualization of these devices, and it gets the service and assigned to the segment. You can have millions of segments. You're not limited with VLANs. You talk about millions of segments you can create. So it's very easy because everything is provisioned only at the edge. You don't have to touch the core. The thing about the changes Skoda is doing, they do on the fly. They have only one, I would say, unplanned outage, which is in the summer when they have 3 weeks, people go for holidays. But network still is supporting certain things. They are still working, and they do the changes on the fly. They don't have to, stop the network. They do completely because of that provisioning. So the other thing what Extreme is adding, I said that devices are labeled properly and assigned to the right segment. But before they are connected, you do the profiling, I mean the network access control. You get certain credentials when the device is accessed, and you sign the policy. This is what we do in Enterasys since 2002. Extreme got that technology, and this is what our customer likes. No more ACLs, that kind of stuff. You can do that as a policy. If you have a camera, you sign the policy of camera, and camera should do only what the camera should do. So this is very important, and we support the fabric attach, which is allowing the labeling of the traffic when accessing to the network. Fabric attach on the access point on the very cheap access switch. So that's how it's actually worked, that you work with. You have a segment for certain services, and you assign the devices to the proper segment, how it works. Can go quickly. I mentioned security. I think it's very important to mention. Hypersegmentation, I said millions of segments. If you have a problem with one device and you are properly segmented, and more and more customers are talking about segmentation, need for segmentation. In IoT, VLAN approach is a dead technology. It's very limited. You need to route, and it's very complex. Think about millions of segments in the layer 2 networking. So first of all, you can isolate and you prevent the problem even before it occurs. The second thing is a stealth networking. Again, it's a layer 2 networking. Think about the potential hackers trying to hack something which you don't know topology. Topology is not known. It's Mac-in-Mac networking. It's very simple, one protocol. How to hack it? It's not that easy. Nobody hacked this network in the last 7 years on the hackathon in Las Vegas. The price is $25,000. Nobody managed to do that. It's not that simple. IP does not work here. Any IP techniques, hacking techniques are not working here because it's layer 2 networking. So first of all, it's a stealth networking. And second, I said service elasticity. The service is provisioned only temporarily when it's needed. When the requirement ends, the service disappears. Again, from the security point of view, you only provision what you need based on actual demand. You don't need to pre-provision. It's only really based on the actual demand. So when you device connect, when you disconnect, the service is only provisioned at that time. So that's about security. I need to talk about a couple of other things because Fabric Connect is very unique, but what we are bringing as well is the visibility, control, and automation. So all the approach, so first of all, Fabric Connect can be implemented to any existing network. You don't need to rip and replace existing implementations. We are now deploying Fabric Connects to the Cisco HP networks because you can do that in the specific network, just select which part you want to do, where it makes sense. What we are now adding, and what has been actually added, is the management, visibility, and control. And just a couple of things what I want to mention here. So Extreme Management Center is something probably many of you know. It's very unique in our solution, and Skoda likes that. But I will mention one other example. 2 weeks ago, my colleague was at nuclear power plant in Mochovce, which is in Slovakia, not that far away from here. And it is a Brocade customer for a long time. 200 small switches from Brocade. And we got, thanks to that, a chance to present our Extreme Management Center story to manage the whole multi-vendor network. It took 5 working days to get the order because the guys were so convinced about our approach, how to bring visibility, control, automation, and analytics into the multi-vendor environments. We do have some customers here in Hungary as well. They are using our analytics and they like it because it's not only about feeds and speeds, ports, it's about real understanding what's happening in the network. And that's what we are helping with Extreme Management Center, Extreme Management, which is about managing the network itself, wireless, wired. It's Extreme Control, the network access control. It's about analytics, layer 7 visibility, that is coming right from the access point, right from the switches. And today we are already supporting, and Chandra, for you might be quite new information, that we are now supporting application telemetry. I know if you heard about application telemetry. Any of you heard about application telemetry? It's application visibility in a network, which is now coming even to the VSPs, which is to via networking, via switching. You can go to the even access switches and have the application visibility. Think about access point costing $500 in the list price, or a switch costs $2,500, that you have a layer 7 visibility. You can measure application and network response times. You can get this information right there. Think about that. That provides you very detailed visibility. If you have some problem with your users, with some applications, you can help, you as a partners or you as a customers, as a, say, service providers within the organization, to know about the potential problems before they occur. The user is complaining about SAP, for example, the response times, but it is a network problem. Is it the application problem? Is it the problem of the user itself? Is it the problem with machine? Is it the problem of operating system? Is it a problem of location? Is it repeating every day? So it's multiple ways, and that's about the visibility up to the applications. This is what we do. And thanks to the system, we are actually helping with the GDPR compliance as well, but I don't want to go into details because time is running. So this is about Extreme Management Center. If you're interested in, we have guys, they have very good experience and they can help you to really explain what the Extreme Management Center. We have here in Hungary, I think, roughly 10 customers, at least, using. But in my region, like in Czech, maybe 100 customers already. Worldwide, we'll have, I think, tens of thousands of the customers. And I can tell you, once they start to use it, they don't change. And we have a lot of customers like ArcelorMittal, for example, in Czech, 7,000 employees. They're using Extreme Management Center to manage Cisco network, for example. So we have more such customers. So, summary in terms of Skoda, why it was interesting for them. So first of all, I said, any network single planned outage, service abstracted from the network. They really reduced a lot of costs significantly with the fabric because they really save a lot of time. Just an example, in November, October, we were at France on the workshop with the guys for 2.5 days with the whole IT department. At the time when it's before the Christmas time, when Skoda is like in the peak time to produce cars. By the way, they produce 2 cars a minute. If the network fails for 1 minute, it's the price of 2 cars. 2.5 days they were away. They don't have a problem because they could be away. Because the network itself, okay, if the bomb comes, you don't help with that. But you don't expect that the network will behave in a strange way because there is a fabric. If you have some problem somewhere link, because every packet can go in a different way. So we are now providing visibility and control, and we've proven that they don't need to spend more money. Some more details I will share. I just want to mention last 3 things. In the last 2 minutes, I'll be quick. So first thing is that we have a similar customer in, it's one of the largest, it's the largest hospital campus in Norway. They are serving more than half of the population in Norway. It's Oslo University Hospital. It's a very long time Avaya customer. And why I mentioned that? So first of all, it's something interesting that they already use like 1,700 segments in the network. But they use one technology already, which I think you can benefit. It's directly related. And there were discussions about IoT, IoT Defender. And this is something we just launched. It's coming from Avaya search, but we added the management on top of it. So we brought in a completely different level. Think about cameras, medical systems. Think about sensors. They don't have any authentication possibilities to authenticate, but they can put your network or customer network down very easily because of broadcast. Or someone tried to hack, get the information about the MAC address or whatever else and try to put into the network. And because now most of the attacks are coming from IoT, and they are the trends. They said that more than 65% of all the attacks will be through the IoT. We brought the solution that is able to utilize the segmentation, the fabric itself, all the security, with all the profiling, and the behavior analysis. When you attach the device, you do the behavior analysis, you are creating some kind of traffic patterns, and based on that, if the device is behaving different, so if you put a camera away, and you put some other device, obviously it's communicating in a different way. And you do the layer 7 analysis. So it's very easy to say, no, that's not the camera, it's something different. So there is a possibility to support both on the wireless as well as the wired to be able to defend the IoT against the potential problems. We don't talk about any complexity solution. It's very simple. It's managed. So first of all, it's supported from the cloud. And I mean cloud now, the private cloud, not only the public cloud, but the private cloud. And it's intelligent because it's providing application visibility, network access control, so multiple ways how to control. And it is adaptive. So which means it's adaptive to the scale. You're scaling. You can start with a small implementation. You can scale to, and it can scale today, as we know, about tens of thousands of devices. So we talk today, as far as I heard, the limitations are like 35,000 devices. We don't talk about, think about 100 devices and put 100 firewalls, small firewalls everywhere. Think about how you manage it. It's completely, it's okay for 10, maybe 20, 30 devices. But if you have thousands of devices and Oslo is already using it, it's very simple because you can connect to the access point or the small device that is, if it has Ethernet connection. And there are some even access points, some ports. You can easily connect and do not only the authentication, because some of them don't know, but it's a behavior analysis. And some of you, they know about our Wing Wireless for distributed retail transport logistic, extreme wireless campus environment hospitals. We have a couple of hospitals here using it, some government, like Leveltar, for example. And now we are able to expand with the cloud appliance, which is a solution that came together with Defender. And it is a cloud-based system put into the private. So you as a partners can run in your premise as one umbrella solution for all the environments, managed through very intuitive GUI, very easy to manage, easy to share, and do very deep analytics, which I was talking about. This is a tool. That's not a product. It's a tool. It's a way how to do a network in a different way. And I hope that I found some new ideas that with all the requirements that are coming today to the networking, you are exposed, your customers are asking, segmentation, profiling, IoT, big data. We will help you with the tools. That's not a product. It's not about Extreme has a product for you. Because you as a partners, you are integrators, you are a managed service provider that no single vendor can do complete solution. Yes, we are now much bigger. We can do from the access to the edge to the data center. However, you still have to integrate to ransomware products, to the firewalls, to mobile device management systems. This is what we do because that XMC has an open API. We have more than 100 different integrations. And we won a lot of projects because of the integrations. But the main task is for you to use that as a tool to improve visibility, control, automation, application analytics to your customers. How you position, whether as an on-premise solution or as the private cloud or the public cloud, it's up to you. You have a choice. It's the same software, same hardware. We don't have a solution for cloud and solution for on-premise like other vendors. No, we have the same. So this is up to you, and we'll be more than happy to support you to talk about more details. How to make networks simple, secured, and intelligent. This is all about. Simplicity is a beauty. Security is everywhere, and intelligence, that's what we would do, ages we can bring. So feel free to contact with me. Unfortunately, I have to leave in about half an hour. But if you're interested, but we have guys here from RelNet. They have very good experience. I'll be more than happy to get the information from you, and we will follow up with further events and give you more information. Thank you very much for your attention. I should put one question, right? So, one question could be, what is the protocol Skoda is using, the only protocol? Okay. Shortest?
It's Laszlo.
That was correct. I have to say that was correct. Was not here. The guy in the blue, because you did not say shortest path bridging. You said shortest bridging. Shortest, this guy.
Okay.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your presentation.